Hi, I'm Kristen from the Understood team. Welcome to From Our Family to Yours, where we share relatable stories and helpful advice from community members like you. Today's story comes in two parts from community member Jennifer in Atlanta, Georgia. She discusses having a son who is really thriving with online learning on the one hand, but on the other hand, she and her husband have learned that while trying to balance their own work schedules, they've had a lot of difficulty also trying to assist their daughter who has learning differences. Let's hear what she has to say. My son Nathan has literally thrived with digital learning. It may be the best thing that has happened for him. He has dyslexia and dysgraphia, and thanks to an amazing reading intervention, his reading has improved dramatically. His dysgraphia, however, has still been a major challenge. Traditional schooling has been a nightmare in this regard, as the demands have increased. When writing even the simplest sentence is difficult, imagine being forced to write all day long. Despite his 504 accommodations, his teacher just can't grasp his needs and how to accommodate him, so he's been continually behind and super stressed. Digital learning has enabled me to see every assignment he is given, allowing me to intervene appropriately. So now instead of him handwriting a poster, he can create a poster using Google Drawings. Removing the writing barriers has really allowed him to thrive. Jennifer, I think this is really good information. What you're sharing with us is that as a parent of a kid who has some learning differences, you've been able to learn specifically about what the academic process is like for him, and you've been able to make your own accommodations based on what you know his needs are. I think distance learning has proved a really important time for parents who may not have as much understanding of what their kids are going through in the classroom setting. It's allowing us to see firsthand what our kids' struggles are and ways to help them outside of having the homework experience. Let's see what else Jennifer has to say. Even though I work from home, it's not flexible and my work has been extremely busy. It has been a challenge to just survive digital learning. My daughter, who also has dyslexia, needs very intense support with her schoolwork. Although she has had an amazing reading intervention, she is still a slow reader. It has been difficult to balance my work while helping her. Thankfully, my son has a Chromebook from school, but because of my daughter's grade level, she doesn't have one. So that has also caused us issues. My husband, who now finds himself working from home, is having to use our computer. Throw in having to share technology on top of everything else, it's been a nightmare. We've been sticking to the core subjects and don't usually get to the special assignments. We're also usually too exhausted to get to practicing those essential reading skills she's learned through her reading intervention, which is also not good, as she needs consistent practice. Needless to say, we are super thankful for summer break right now. Jennifer, I think you and millions of other teachers and parents are super grateful for summer break right now. One of the things that you mentioned is lots of competing demands and wanting to really be there for your children as they go through the online learning process, but having difficulty doing so because you have to meet your own work goals. I think it's really important that, first of all, we understand that there are limits to what we can do with our children and with our own work while we're in this situation. I really like the fact that you are owning up to we are doing what we can. There's always opportunities to do better, but in these types of situations, we're trying to survive and we do our best. And you're doing your best when you have your daughter meet the basic needs of getting through her schoolwork, especially when she has challenges that you aren't trained necessarily to meet. So one of the things that I would recommend is that you continue to do what is required and you try to avoid placing a lot of guilt or blame on yourself for not being able to be the reading specialist she might have if she was in school. It also sounds like you might be really worried about her regressing in terms of her academic abilities. And one of the things that I would like you and other parents to remember is that kids generally are able to recover over time and they have a supportive environment that consistently looks for additional supports when they're not able to meet the kids' needs. So one of the things that you could try to consider is when COVID is over, getting her some more intensive instruction to make up for what she may have lost right now. But I'd like you to keep in mind that you're doing your best during this very difficult time, and your best is good enough. Have you and your child had difficulty with the online learning process? Have you noticed maybe that one child is thriving while the other child seems to be struggling? Please let us know in the comments below. And remember, you're not alone. Until next time, this has been From Our Family to Yours. Thanks for watching.